feel the creative authorship of Rogue One that you feel for an original thing like The Creator or Monsters? I mean, there's so many cooks in the kitchen, frankly, on something that of that size. So what is
Right.
your relationship to Rogue One? Is that your film?
No, honestly, what I feel all the time is it's George's film. Like basically everything in that movie that's any good that people love is probably somehow from George Lucas in some way.
Right.
And like the fact that we didn't realize this when we were shooting it, but everyone obviously the thing that gets talked about the most is the Darth Vader scene at the
Right.
end. And I take zero, like I feel zero ownership of that because it's George's character. Do you know what I mean? George invented that corridor. He invented that character. I mean, sorry, that character, and and the lightsabers and the rebels and do you know what I mean? And the Death Star plans. And it's like the I, you know, so you, it's very like when so okay, this is what you kind of happens when you're a filmmaker and especially a sci-fi geek like I am, is I go into comic book shops a lot and those sort of stores, you know, and I walk around and I'm mainly looking for other stuff and just there as a fan. But you can't, you're lying to yourself if a little bit of the in the corner of your eye, you sometimes don't go, oh, is that from our film? You know, whatever it like, whether it be Godzilla
Right.
or Rogue One. And if I spot our Godzilla, you know, that's like our design, not the Toho, I sort of feel a little like, yeah, you know, and the same, but the problem is with Rogue One is when I see Darth Vader, I'm like, that's not because of our film. That's because of, you know, the original trilogy, which totally rightly so. And so it's very hard to see something where it's just because of Rogue One. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's usually because of Star Wars as a whole. So yeah, I always feel like I got to play with those toys, which was amazing. But any the real, you know, if
It's
someone's
all
going to
it's
build a
all George.
statue,
Yeah.
yeah,
Does,
exactly.
does the does the conjecture, the endless conjecture about that production bother you? The reality is that all these giant films have major additional photography. Yet there is this kind of war, as you well know, about this film, about who did what and Tony's involvement, was Filoni involved, etc. Do you sweat that stuff? Does it bother you? Do you feel a need to set the record straight, or is it all good?
No, I think I just, yeah, I mean, every movie, you know what's weird is this the creator, we didn't do additional photography. Every single film I've done other than this one, we've always gone back and shot a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I always expected to. I always joked with the actors when we were doing the creator, like, see you in 9 months for the pickup
Right.
shoot. You know what I mean? Like, and we'd say goodbye, like people in Thailand we'd never see for ages, you know, and you say, it's okay, we're coming back in 9 months, you know, we're gonna come back in 9 months. And we didn't. And that was weird because it is very normal to do that. Um, I think in terms of Rogue One, like, look, I got to making films is very hard, right? And I think I got to make a film in probably the best world and story that anyone I could ever hope to be offered.
Yeah.
And and the idea of like nitpicking or complaining about some aspect of it feels really ungrateful. And
Yeah.
so I'm sort of, even if I went back in time, I wouldn't do anything differently. You know, it all at the end of the day, people aren't shouting at me across the street saying I ruined their childhood.